and this is from Google Maps, and it's staggering a little bit. Hold on, and get everything cleared up. These hills right here, these are flooded. Me and my cousin, we actually, I grew up at this house right here. This is the end of Bellwood, and this is the hills I'm talking about. Well, the whole thing is called the Honda Hills, but these we used to call the Creek Hills. And my brother actually made these years. He was a professional motocross rider back in the 60s and into part of the 70s and stuff. And this is when bikes were clunky as hell. Well, anyways, he made these hills, and I remember I was in diapers. I walked back here. This isn't flooded back then anyways, because there was railroad tracks right here, and the pipe goes underneath the railroad tracks. And every time this would kind of get clogged, the people would come down there with an excavator and clean it out. Well, anyways, there was a rock here, I think on this side of this hill, or up here, I think right about here. My cousin, we were digging that thing out. We rolled that sucker down. That thing was huge. It split in half. But anyways, I was in diapers, and I remember walking back in here with my aunts. The hills used to go up this way a little bit in here. And since then, I don't know how long this has been flooded, but it's been flooded for a while. We tried to clog it up years ago, but anyways, these hills have been here. A couple of them have been modified and stuff. And this used to be a big junkyard across from here, but I guess they made some hills here. And on the other side over here, this was never, now there is some trails going on this side because this is clogged and not much water goes underneath that. So, but he made these hills, and actually my cousins, we all owned motorcycles back then, even in the 80s and stuff, before I moved out. We all had motorcycles and trail 90s and go-karts. We'd ride them up and down the road and stuff, and Johnson used to live here. There used to be a couple here that were Johnsons, and there was the parents of the younger people, and they were race car drivers. And I wonder if there was somehow related to Jimmy Johnson. I don't know. But anyways, we actually owned this. This up here used to be a track as well. This is that tower that's right there, the high tension tower, high power tower. And it has like a little bit of a dip here where motorcycles used to come up and jump. You used to have like hills right here, a small one here and a larger one here, and some motorcycle. Everybody used these hills. All kinds of people used them hills, but my brother started them way back when. And we used to own this property. It's here, and there used to be a racetrack up here too. And over on this side, there was my dad dug it out and made an ice skating rink. And it's a little low, and there are like real small hills here. And my dog is actually buried up here. And there the hill used to come, the track up here. But I mean, I must have been 4 or 5. I remember it was probably earlier than that. There used to be a baseball diamond up here as well, and then that went away. And then it was the race. It was a track that we used to race the motorcycles around. We used to go around here, and then down here, and there used to be 2 of them. One here, and it would extend up a little bit. But then there used to be a hill right here next to this tower that we used to climb up as well. And one goes down this way. This looks like it's still here. Okay. And but anyways, as you know, more and more motorcycles in the 80s and stuff started coming around. And this is probably back, yeah, this is in the early 60s, or mid 60s and early 60s. And then these over here, these are new. These probably started about 25, maybe 30 years ago. And all this stuff up in here too. This has been cleared out. I don't know why this is cleared. They cleared this out, but there's a gas well up here now. And I can't remember why they cleared this out. I actually had an S10 at one time. It almost got stuck down here. It was a 2-wheel drive. It wouldn't climb anything. But this part right here, I climbed up in a 1996 Cavalier. I climbed this hill. And used to climb all this crap. These hills here, and not down here, but I remember my brother, when I was little, I used to hold on to the handlebars. He'd pull in the clutch and go down the side of that damn hill and just freak me the hell out. And, okay, over here, this used to be called the Sandbanks. And we used to call it the Sandbanks. I don't know why, but this is all grown in now, but paths go through here. There's some paths like right It starts right about here. It cuts down through and goes up in here. And actually, I was up there with my wife, and we were walking. And here's a video from us. We came down from here, and here's a video from us walking down this path. All right, now we're going down this. This thing has been here for ever and ever and ever. This takes you over to the other side of the hills. It's like this little ravine. My brother, probably back in 1985, had a two-wheel drive S10 and took it down here and climbed this. See, they got a bunch of different little paths and stuff up through here now. And he took us down here, and he climbed this hill right here in a two-wheel drive S10, 4-cylinder. Now, some people might not believe that, but I was with him, and he was a mechanic at Greenwood Chevrolet. He passed away a couple years ago. Here's some more paths over there that they made since I've been here, since I haven't been here. But up here, we used to ride our bikes down here all the time, screw around, have fires over there in that area. I mean, this is 30 years ago. All right, that was pretty cool. And right up in here, I found this can. Look at this picture of this can. Now, that thing has a pull tab. Now, I will tell you, them pull tabs on this can hasn't been around since the 70s. So this can has been sitting up in here and hasn't degraded at all since the 70s. Well, anyways, now let's go back over to here. I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to show you this video here. Here's a picture of McDonald's steel. And McDonald's steel is over here in this tower here. They painted this back in 1984. And then I remember a couple years ago, it was just rusted and everything. They must have painted again. So here's a picture. You can see that tower from right here. I flew the drone. The drone's probably located right around here, but the trees along this line right here is so grown you can't really see it anymore over there. Anyways, let's go up here a little bit. This path right here, there's a giant mud puddle. My brother had an S10. This is back in the 80s, probably about 84. And he beat the hell out of this truck. These mud holes here, there was one big mud hole. My cousin had a Ford Bronco with locking hubs. He got stuck in that mud hole. My brother drove through that thing with a two-wheel drive S10. Drove down this path here that I just showed you that video a little while ago. Came down in here and would climb these hills. And over here, there was one over here too. He would climb these hills in that little S10. And after that, we went back down through. He took it down this hill, and we went up next to this when it was all worn out and everything right here. He showed me that something in the computer shows, he said, the computer shows how you beat the truck, and it's going to rev the engine higher. And he popped the clutch in that dang thing. It was a stick shift, and he idled up this freaking hill to the top up here. It was incredible. I'm thinking he climbed this thing too with that truck. But this wasn't in here then. I don't know why they took this out, and I don't know what this big pipe is in here. It might be a gas line. I have no clue. Well, anyways, now up here, the city uses this as mulch or whatever, and all of this area, whole area right in here, was clear cut by the Amish people. We used to have a Tarzan swing right around in here somewhere, and that was cool. But they came in here and clear cut all of these trees out of here, and this was probably 82, in 1982. And we used to be able to come down through the bowling alley, back this way, but now it comes out here next to the McKinley Laundromat. This used to be, now it's the laundromat. It used to be a Circle K, I think, and then before that it was a Dairy Mart, and before that it was a Lawson's, and that's going back a ways. And Robbins Avenue Lounge, Roland's, no, Mark doesn't own that anymore. He sold it to somebody, and they turned it into the Dragon's Den. Anyways, but that's this is my neighborhood. This is the neighborhood I grew up in, all over the place. My cousins and everybody, we all lived here. And in one of my videos, I told you about my paranormal experience of dealing with, I had an experience in this house. My friend who lived in my neighborhood, they got married and they bought this house. And you have to watch the video. It's back in my videos. Something happened in this house. I'm telling you, it freaked me out. Anyways, let's go back down to the trails down here. All right. Like I said before, this used to be railroad tracks here. And then next to the railroad tracks, up on the side, there used to be telephone poles. And they used to have the wires. Somebody cut all the wires and took all the insulations down. But you can see like a slight path next to it. And oh my God, there used to be more paths up through here, Honda trails and stuff. And this is actually the third set of tracks. There's actually a second set of tracks down here somewhere. And then this is the third set. It's right next to the Mahoning River, like you can see. And, okay, we're going to go down. I'm going to show you this picture here. Let me show you this picture I took of, that's the Golf Dome. That's deflated. Okay, here's this picture I took up of with a drone, and you can see the Golf Dome off to the left, or the left there, and that's the Golf Dome, and then that's the steel mill down the street. And then here's another picture of, you can see off to the right that sandbar that's coming out of the Mahoning River, or actually out of Squaw Creek. All right, let's go back again. This is the pond. We used to call this the pond, and there should be a trail like right here that goes up into there, goes up into here. And this used to be Bochet or something, like used to own all this crap. This used to be a drive-through back in the 80s. We got Chihuahua beer there one time. It was a Mexican beer. And these used to be tracks all down through here. And you can see they still have some of the trains and stuff. And this, where's it at? Okay, right here used to be one big path of ash. It was like some kind of ash was dumped there. And there were some high banks on that sucker. And there's these trains. They used to have them all. There must have been 4 or 5 tracks down here at one time. And these are all filled. This is all just Honda race tracks. We called this the turtle pond because there were tons of turtles in this darn thing. And now they got paths to go down through there. And this used to be a big field right here. My brothers would catch that on fire all the time. And there used to be real high grass in there. That's the putt-putt course. This is the company that makes guardrails. And as you come down the railroad tracks here, and here's another pond, and railroad tracks. Let's go down a little farther. Yeah, Highway Products. They make rails, guardrails. All right, this is the cemetery up here. Right here, you can come down 422 and park your car. You might be able to get down Frankfurt bicycles down here. You can get down over here, and you can cross this path, this train trestle thing here. I drove over this with my truck and my car, and we went up here. Well, I was with Spot. We were about here. We were walking. We heard some turkeys in there. Anyway, let's go back down. Go back down here. Let me tell you a little bit about this area. All right. This used to be a water treatment plant right in here. Right now, this is just one big tank for the water. I don't know what it would do for, maybe for Girard or not. I'm not sure, but this comes from Liberty Lake, the lower Liberty Lake, and then the upper is up there, and it just goes right into the Mahoning River. But you can catch some crawfish in there. Me and my brother, we used to go up there, and we caught so many crawfish in there we couldn't eat them all. And there's still some pipes down in here. And it might be, I'm not sure, right in here, there's a giant pipe that's probably 2 foot, maybe 3 foot in diameter. There's a big crack in it. And I wonder somehow if water expanded in there and it cracked. But I don't know. I'd like to see someone cut that side out of there and look what's in, see where that thing, it goes down at an angle in the ground. Now over here, this used to be the old Leatherworks. And my mom told me something. There was the water treatment plant was here, and there was a little path. Years ago, we walked down here. I went up here with my mom and dad and brothers and stuff. She told me she used to walk down here from the school, from when we used to live way up there. And she said she used to cross there and go to school or something. She must have been 5 or 6 years old, she said, remembered. Weird. Anyways, this used to be the Leather Works. I remember seeing some, when the building was here, some barrels that said Union Carbide on it. And I was like, holy crap, are you kidding me? And then about a couple years later, I went back down there and it wasn't there. And they just recently, well, I think it was within 20 years, they knocked the building down now. And they do have some nice road brick. I'd like to go back. I have to find out who I can get in touch with to get some of this road brick down in there. But yeah, you can drive down in there with your car and drive all the way. And this will actually take you to Summit Street if you want to drive all the way out down the path. It's kind of bumpy. You go real slow, but you can get down through there. So that's about the history of the Honda Hills and how they were made. My brother and cousins basically made them. My brother, I heard, initially made them, and then my cousins and everybody, and all in the 70s or in the late 80s, in the mid 80s and stuff, they used to ride them all over the place and make these damn things. So there you go. And that's about it. That's my old house here. It's all road brick. My mom used to shovel all of this all the way down with a damn board. She would plow it out of there all by hand. But now it's just, I don't know who dumping this stuff. Probably the city's dumping this stuff back in here. But yeah, this bowling lanes have been there forever. So there you go. I think that's about it. I have told you everything about I could possibly know about it, but we used to screw around back in here. We used to have fires and do all kinds of stupid stuff back in here in the woods too, because there's some more trails you can't see from the trees and stuff, so you can take a walk back in there, and it's pretty cool. So there you go. That's about it, and maybe someday this will drain and they'll use it again or something. I doubt it. So thanks for watching.